what better way to start a fish care video than with a fish. Now, just weighed this and I haven't taken the sling off yet, but it went 23.12. So it's a cool one. And yeah, in today's video, we're going to be looking at a few fish care bits from Solar, namely the Undercover Foldable Mat, the Undercover Sling, and the Weightlifter Weigh Bar. First of all, I'll show you this very cool linear. So I imagine it'll be just under £20 once the sling's taken off. What a way to start the video. Proper cool one. Like I say, probably just over £20, just under £20 when the sling's taken off, but I will find that out. But how about that is proper colours, just coming into spring. Nice plump belly. Yeah. Nice. So like I say, we'll jump into the products and show you everything you need to know about these Solar bits of kit, because they are very cool, very fish friendly, which is exactly what we want for moments like this, isn't it? So I'll get a couple of stills, slipping back and tell you all you need to know about some of the Undercover fish care products. Amazing. Okay, so the first product we're going to look at is the Solar Undercover Foldable Unhooking Mat. No prizes for guessing why it's called the Foldable Unhooking Mat. Basically, it folds up nice and easily for transporting around the lake. Now I've got this filthy from having that fish earlier, but there's a little clip just on one side, and then that marries up and then clips together, so it makes it a lot easier for transportation. You've then got two little carry handles as well if you do want to carry it that way rather than having it on a barrow, and then you can pull it nice and tight with the adjustable clip. That is a foldable part done. Nice and easy, isn't it? But there's more to this than it just being able to fold. And something I noticed straight away, firstly, you've got obviously this waterproof cover, which when dealing with fish makes it really handy because you've got something to actually kind of, well, not that I'm kneeling down, but you've got something to kneel down on that's going to keep you dry. So yeah, very handy in that respect. It can also act as a bit of a cover to cover over the fish, just to keep it calm whilst you're sorting a couple of bits out around you. So really handy to have the cover, and then that actually velcros around the sides as well. But something I did notice, I'm used to using flat mats, and they can be a bit of a pain at times because fish do flap about. There's no doubt about it, we can't avoid it, they do flap about at times. And with flat mats, sometimes they're very slippery. But with this, how this is actually set up, it's almost like under this bit of material, you've still got sides around the mat, if that makes sense. So that almost gives a bit of a bowl effect. So if the fish does start flapping, it isn't just gonna shoot straight off to the side. There is a bit more to it that actually it's almost like a mini sort of cradle. You've got probably 3 inches of foam around the outside, and then obviously you've got a foam base as well. So there's still loads of protection, even though it's not complete foam, but you have got these sides as well. And I noticed that when dealing with that fish earlier, it came in really handy. And the other thing, because this is a completely waterproof material, where you've got that dome, it actually holds a bit of water, which is really handy for if you're kind of, I don't know, washing a bit of foam off the fish or something like that. You haven't got to keep reaching for your bucket, because once you've actually got a bit on the mat, it does hold the water as well. So yeah, it works in a few different ways by having this kind of outer lip. It really is quite beneficial. Now the other thing to point out, if I just lift this up, is that you've got a nice waterproof base as well. So once you've actually folded this up, if you're finished for the session, by having this nice and waterproof, it doesn't mean that in your car or your van it's all going to leach out the bottom or anything like that. So it contains what is wet kind of within the fold. So yeah, really nice that it keeps everything nice and clean. Plus the other thing, obviously this bit is going to be on the floor all the time, so it's going to get dirty. By having a waterproof base, it's easy to kind of wipe it clean. If you want to wash it, hose it off when you get back, then you can hose it off, and it's pretty much as good as new when you do get back. Now, whilst I've got it like this, the other thing you'll notice is you've got 4 pegging points around each corner. So if you're fishing and it's a really windy session, mats have been known to blow down the bank, so you can peg them in place with no worries at all. Now, it's actually a really good size. That fish that I had earlier, like I say, that was a 𝘃𝗶𝗀𝗲. I did actually weigh the Sling afterwards, and it came in at 3.5 pounds. So that meant the fish was 20 pound 4 ounces. So nice to have a 𝘃𝗶𝗀𝗲. But in terms of size of the fish on the mat, this mat is perfect for them sort of size fish, but it will also be great for bigger fish as well. You could easily have 40 pounders on this mat. There's more than enough room, and it would still be nice and safe for a fish of that sort of size. So the actual dimensions of this, width-wise, is 114 centimetres, 68 centimetres wide, and then 14 centimetres deep. So like I say, you've got really thick foam padding around all of the outside, and then it's slightly thinner in the middle, but still more than enough to give you lots of protection. And I think that's about it. That's about all I can say for this, really. Obviously the cover, which I'm now sitting on, is in Solar's Undercover Camo, which is a really nice camo pattern. And yeah, it's an oversized cover. So again, I've had flat mats in the past where you've really got to stretch the covers over, and it just hasn't been the one. So to have it oversized, Velcro all the way around, it makes it nice and easy to keep it covered. And it's a nice big base that you can lean on if you are dealing with fish. Now, this comes in at $94.99 on the Solar website, but I have had a little look around, and you can get them a little bit cheaper online. So that's really just a reference point. That's the retail price, but like I say, you can get them a little bit cheaper. So let's move on to the next one in the range, which is the Undercover Weigh Sling. Okay, so the Undercover Weigh/retention sling, another really cool bit of kit in the same Undercover Camo pattern, which I'll show you in a second. Obviously this is just a bag at the moment, but I just wanted to show you the size of this. So this is a standard one, and this comes in at 105 centimetres, which is kind of the perfect size to go with this unhooking mat, really. But there is a large one available, so if you're wanting something a bit more European, then there is a large, which is 140 centimetres. So another 35 centimetres onto this. If I'm completely honest, I'm never going to need something that size, but it's nice to know that option is there if you do go to a lake where there's a lot bigger fish. But I think for everyday angling, or everyday anglers, then the standard will be about bang on, really. So again, using that fish for reference earlier, perfect size for this sort of sling, but it could easily house bigger fish as well. If you're regularly catching mid-30s, 40s, 40 pluses, then I'd probably go for the large one. But for anything up to about 40 pound, I'd say the standard would be about bang on. So let's get this out. Obviously you get this kind of, I don't know if it's quite a stink bag, but it definitely helps to keep the van a little bit drier if you have had a successful session. But a couple of liners, rods are still out at the moment, you never know. But if you're looking for a culty looking sling, I mean, look at that. You've got the old school Solar branding alongside the new school Solar camo. So it's a really cool combination. And then basically these floats along the top, floats the whole way along. So it's not kind of broken up. So you know it's going to be super buoyant. So there's going to be no issues of the sling actually sinking or anything like that. You've then got obviously a couple of handles, and then they've got your little rings so you can weigh your fish easily through it. And these are actually sewn into place, so they're not going to slip up and down. You know that it's going to stay central. Can't guarantee that the sling won't turn, because they all seem to do that, but at least you know that the rings are central and you are going to be lifting from a central point. You've then got heavy duty zips, and these actually go all the way to the bottom. I'll just show you that now. So then that means you can completely open the mat flat. So some weigh slings or retaining slings don't zip all the way down, and then you've got that awkward bit in the middle that it's just annoying. So the fact that this unzips and goes pretty much flat is a really, really good point to mention. But obviously the material is made from a fish-friendly material, but these have been on the market for a little while now. People have been using them for some time, and the material on the inside It doesn't do that annoying thing where over time it cracks and it starts to break up. This has been designed that it doesn't do that and it doesn't start flaking off, because there's nothing worse than using an old sling that is starting to crack, and then you end up getting little bits on the fish, and it's not the one. This has been designed to be a lot more hard wearing, last a lot longer, but still be very fish friendly, and it's been designed to not take the mucus layer off fish and things like that. So yeah, really good material that's been used to create this. There are a few mesh bits around that you'll see, and obviously that's just for draining water out, so it makes it nice and easy when you are moving the fish from the water to your mat and things like that. It will drain out quickly, but when it's actually in the water, yeah, it will still allow enough water to flow through it, and obviously it doesn't end up with old stale water. Not that you should keep the fish that long, it's going to go stale, but you get the point. So just going back to the actual float section, you'll see you've got high-vis reflective pieces kind of sewn on both sides or either end, and that's on both floats as well. So if it is at night that you've got it kind of slinged up whilst you're getting your camera ready and things, obviously just a quick shine on the head torch, you see it will reflect, so you know exactly what you're dealing with. And then the other thing to mention is on this side you've got a little pocket, which is where you've got your retention cord in it. Now this actually zips in place, which is quite nice. A lot of slings have Velcro ones and they just, once they get wet, it just doesn't really work the right way. So there's a little zip here. You've got a super long cord on the inside, and this is reflective as well. So you've got the little reflective flex all the way along the cord. So again, at night, really handy. You're not going to be tripping over things. A quick shine on the head torch and that will show you exactly where that cord is. Now these, like I say, are available in two sizes. You can get the standard one, which I've got here, which on the Solar website retail is $73.99, and then the large one is a little bit more expensive at $79.99. Well, I'm glad this is the last product, because I seem to be stacking up more and more around me, and soon I won't have any space left whatsoever. But like I said earlier, it's hard to do a solar video without showing a bit of bling and a bit of stainless. Now this is the P1 Weightlifter Weigh Bar. On the face of it, you probably won't think much of it. It's just another weigh bar. We all know the benefits of them, but this is very, very cool. Firstly, obviously we all know that stainless stuff from Solar is bang on. And looking at this, yeah, there's no questions there. It's a very well machined bit of kit. It's solid. It weighs a ton, so it makes it feel that bit better as well. Yeah, it is a very cool product, end of. Now, first things first, obviously you've got a decent solid carabiner on here, and then that's gonna attach onto a set of scales, like so. Job done. That is the main the main point of this bar, is to make obviously lifting and weighing fish a lot easier. So that's that part, but it does have a little party trick. Now, this unscrews. So if you are dealing with bigger fish, or some of you might just find it easier to deal with things this way, this unscrews and then can be attached onto a storm pole. It's a bit of a two-in-one product, because once you've attached it to a storm pole, obviously you can attach your scales as you would normally, and then you can use it as a hoist. Now, yeah, obviously you're going to have it that bit higher because you're not going to get anything off the floor like that. But for demonstration purposes, how cool is that? When you're done with it, storm pole back off, and then that just screws back into place. So yeah, very cool product. It can be just a normal weigh bar, or you can adapt it if you want to use it with a storm pole. A couple of other points to mention is, as you'd expect, being Solar, it is made in the UK. So it's got that kind of British back into it, which makes it feel even better. You've got a swivel joint in the middle, so it doesn't mean that everything's static, which makes it a lot easier, because fish do move, slings move, all sorts. So instead of fighting against it, it just swivels on a pivot right in the middle there. And then you've got nice, just under my finger, Solar branding etched into the side of it. So yeah, it's a really, really well designed product. Now I'm not going to make out that this is cheap, because it's not, but at the same time, if you want decent stainless, you've got to pay for it. Now, on the Solar website, it says that the retail price is $51.99. Again, I'm sure if you have a little Google, a little shop around, you'll probably get it a little bit cheaper, but stainless really is one of them things that you get what you pay for. So I'll leave that to you guys to discuss in the comments. But if you've got the money and you want the best, it pretty much is the best weigh bar out there. So I'm going to end on that note. So hopefully you guys have found this video interesting. The Undercover products are really cool, and yeah, the camo pattern's cool. They're kind of culty as well. So yeah, they're really cool products. If you want more information about each one of the products, then head over to the Solar Tackle website, because there's stacks of information there that I might not have gone through, but hopefully it's given you a nice overview of some of the Undercover fish care range, and then obviously the weigh bar as well. Coming up around me somewhere, maybe in that camera, there'll probably be a couple more Solar videos, so make sure you click onto them and you can see a few more bits in the Undercover range. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.